Well, his fault. I don't know how. What, I'm glad we got that figured. Well, thank you. To say hi to Ed. Tell Sarah and Ian we're only 100 miles west of there, near Quartzsite.
Okay,
It's just about 100 miles west of Phoenix.
all right.
So in fact, we'll go in there like to surprise
Oh, yeah.
or Buckeye.
They
or
want
whatever.
to do that.
Yeah.
Nothing want to do with the. I probably don't know. Data center, a surprise.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, surprise is, I don't know, but 50. But data center, we're getting everybody's face extra life. And if they want, well, you know what? We can't make water in the dollar bill.
No, I'm kidding.
And they're.
They can try. All righty. All righty.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just a reminder, there is the sign up sheet there, so if you are wanting to talk today, there's the sheet there to sign up.
So are you gonna speak loud enough today so that we can hear you?
We will try.
Thank you.
Let me know if you can.
What?
Let me know if you can't.
We heard that. Oh.
All right. All right, welcome to the regular meeting of Beal City Council. It's Monday, April 13th at 6:30. We all stand with me for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Madam Clerk, we have a quorum.
Yes, we do.
All right, the first item on the agenda is consent agenda, which includes the minutes of March 23rd, 2026 working session. Claims for payment, department head report, public works, engineer, fire, planning and zoning. Commission minutes for the airport, housing authority, and the library, and the clerk treasurer report.
I'll make a motion to approve the library. Wrong one. Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And a roll call vote. Gordon?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes.
Brian? Yes. Marla?
Yes.
All right, let's move on to new business. The action item is review and consideration of the library's request for city pool use for the summer reading program.
So Megan's here. I don't know if you wanna kind of explain what that is for you members.
So what we're proposing or requesting is that last week of July on either Tuesday or Wednesday from like 10 to noon. Utilizing the pool as a reward system for the completion of our summer reading program. And allowing the people who successfully complete to come use the pool for a couple of hours and then just celebrate the end of summer reading.
How many readers did you have last summer?
Last year, we had 264 people register for our summer reading program, and we had, I wanna say, like 120 finish. So it was really, really
That's
exciting.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that on.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
So did the ones that completed last year, they get to swim too, or?
So because the pool wasn't open last year, we ended up doing two parties. We did a water party in the park on Tuesday, and then we did a smaller party at the library just to celebrate, but the year before we used the pool.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the library's request for the use of the city pool for the summer reading program the last couple of weeks of July.
A second. Yeah, motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, roll call vote. Marla?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes.
Courtland?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, the next item is review and consideration of general fund, street fund, library fund, and utility fund financial policies.
So this is the first step in the budget process for the year. We review these every year, and you can see, we try to stay within about 2 or 3 months of revenues or expenses, depending on which fund we're looking at. So to start with the general fund balance, you're looking at, based on the what year are we? 25, 26, so the 24, 25 numbers, the expenditures kind of in comparison to the current, fund balance is just about, or it's a little bit over 2.17 months worth of expenditures. And then it would be 2.03 months of revenues. So my recommendation for the general fund at least is that we just maintain that fund balance at 500,000. And I think, so on the agenda, it's all in one action item. But I feel like it would be best if we broke that out and did one approval or deny of each of the funds. You want to maybe that?
Street fund.
So it would be like one motion for general fund, one motion for street fund, one for library fund, one for utilities. And then I'll go into, do you want me to go through all of them right now and do all the motions at once, or what would you guys prefer? That, okay, so that was general fund. Do you guys have any questions on that one? Okay. The next one will be the street fund. So those numbers you can see, if we left it at the current reserve, which is 100,000, we would not cover 2 months of expenses. So my proposal is that we increase that to 130,000, which would be 2.5 months. But I will, of course, whatever you guys decide, 110,000 would be 2.1 months, 120,000 would be 2.3 months. So it's kind of what you guys are comfortable with. Any questions on that one? The library fund, my recommendation is to maintain, right now their current restricted amount is 56,685, which is about 2.1 months of expenses. I would recommend we maintain that current level. The library board did approve that amount. They were comfortable with that as well, but again, ultimately.
What was the amount?
56,685. And then lastly, for utilities, it is currently set at 650,000, but as you can see in that first table, that was not, ideally for utilities, you look at about 3 months of expenses. And that would not get you to 3 months, it's about 2.88 months. So my recommendation is that we increase that to 680,000, which would be 3.01 months of expenses.
Why don't we do 2 months for the other ones and 3 for the utilities?
That is a good, Jason, I don't know if you maybe know the answer to that either.
I don't, I think it's more because of, water sewer.
Yeah, that's what
Water.
I was gonna say, if we kind of wanna give us a little bit more of a cushion in that regard. I know that these are based on best practices within, like municipal budgeting. And so I can get a better answer than that to you, but I am guessing that it's because you might want a little bit more of a cushion there. Any questions, please?
You want the motion for the all of them?
Do you guys mind going separate? I don't know that it really matters since we just
Just a
talked
motion
about
and
it
vote
all.
on each one, or?
Yeah, but if you guys are good with that.
Yeah, I'll start. I'll make a motion to approve the general fund financial policy for maintaining a minimum balance of 500,000.
Second,
We have a motion and a second, roll call vote, Marla,
Yes.
Cortland,
yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Aye. Now,
Now we have street.
motions, yeah.
Make a motion to approve the street fund financial policy for maintaining a minimum balance of $130,000.
I'll second.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second. Cortland,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Marla.
Yes.
Okay. Want to go library fund? Motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the library fund financial policy. Increase minimum balance of, what was that, 56,685.
The increase or just maintain?
Maintain.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All right, Marla,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Cortland.
Yes.
Now the utility fund.
And I'll make a motion to approve the utility fund financial policy and increase the minimum balance of $650,000 to $680,000.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Vote, Cortland,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
and Marla.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is the review and consideration of the fee schedule. So this is, I included the current fee schedule in your guys' packet. One thing that we have really been considering and trying to figure out what the best approach is going to be is the whole penny shortage and how they're not making pennies anymore. And so we came up with an idea. So currently, a lot of our fees are the fee plus tax. So it ends up being, for example, like the adult pool pass is $6, but when you get to the register, it's actually $6.36, right? So if somebody pays with a 10, we're giving back 4 pennies no matter what, or they pay with $7, whatever the case may be. Our thought is that we could start including tax in the fee, and then us on the internal side will take out the tax to be able to pay that. And make sure that that number is correct, but I think it makes it a little bit more even, kind of less change going around for the patrons that use these certain services or whatnot. I did give you a couple different options in the spreadsheet. Not many of the fees would increase by more than about 20 cents. In fact, a lot of them would actually decrease as the overall total. So maybe you're gonna pay, let's see, what's an example on here? You might pay, like, on paper, it might look like you're gonna pay a little bit more, like we're charging $6.25, for instance, for an adult pool pass, when in the past it was $6, but when you actually get to the register, you're gonna just pay that flat $6.25. Whereas in the past, you would have maybe paid the $6.36. So it's a kind of, there's a little bit that, there's a few that go over, there's a few that are under, so it kind of evens out at the end. So that is my proposal to bring forward. This does need to go to public hearing, so that's really all that is decided tonight, if you guys want to move forward to a public hearing. And in that case, we would put everything together in the pretty package and then present that at the public hearing. Do you guys, there's one other kind of piece to this. Do you guys have any questions on this, on the spreadsheet, the tax information? No? Okay. And then, Jason had included a proposal, for fees in the Public Works Department. That was included in your packet with the letter. Do you guys have questions on that? No.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to move forward with a public hearing for the fee schedule resolution in the Parks, Admin, Airport, and Building and Planning and Zoning to adjust for the discontinuation of the penny and including the additional fees in the Water Department as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, Marla,
Yes.
Cortland,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Brett.
Yes.
The next item is the review and consideration to move to a public hearing for planning and zoning commission recommendations of amendment to Title IX, Chapter 8, Section 1, Scheduled Land Uses, add additional allowable uses in the airport zoning district called across table categories: agricultural, residential, commercial, industrial, public, semi-public.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the public hearing for planning and zoning commission recommendations of amendment in Title IX, Chapter 8, Section 1, Schedule of Land Use, adding additional allowable use in the airport zone district, column across from the table category: residential, commercial, industrial, and public and semi-public.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, roll call vote. Marla,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Cortland.
Yes.
Public hearing. All right, the next action item is review and consideration to move to public hearing for planning and zoning commission recommendations of amendment to Title IX, Chapters 5 and 8, non-conforming uses and residential animal keeping. Update standards for poultry, fowl, livestock, rabbits, and bees within residential areas, and clarify minimum lot size, density, permitting, and enforcement provisions.
I'll make a motion to move forward to public hearing for planning and zoning commission recommendations of amendments to Title IX, Chapter 5 and 8, non-conforming uses and residential animal keeping, update standards for poultry, fowl, livestock, rabbits, and bees within residential areas, and clarify minimum lot size, density, permitting, and enforcement provisions.
I'll second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, roll call vote. Cortland,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
All right. Next item is discussion of America 250 update. All right, so you may have seen on my social media, between the county commissioners, there's a America 250 Twin Falls County committee, I guess it'd be, that is doing a flags for that's for also flags of honor, field of honor, there we go. And we're able to get the flags, and they will be here. Setup is on July 1st, and they'll take it down on July 5th. That's 250 American flags, 29 there's 29 colonial flags, there we go. And they were working on like military flags for our 6 branches and first responder flags. I don't know if they've got those yet, but, and then there's also a life size Declaration of Independence display that will be out there too. So I think that's pretty neat, and especially we get it on board. So that will be something to look forward to, take pictures of. The when this is done, it's in Twin Falls before us, then it goes to us and then various other cities. And when they're done, they're gonna get those flags embroidered with the American 250 TFC. And they will give them to people that are deserving in our community, and that's why I've been asking for, if you know somebody that has gone over and above in our town, get their name to us, bring in the city hall, kind of who they are, what they've done, because they are going to reward out those flags, and that'll be a once in a lifetime bill to get that, so I think we kind of need to get one. So, that's what I have on that. Alright,
I stopped by the chamber last week, I was gone most of last week and so today. I stopped by and she had a family emergency, but she was here, if you want to talk to them.
alright,
Somebody,
Last meeting, we were kind of talking about maybe like teaming up with where you guys got one for the Fourth of July, or, you know, because we have a grant available. We've got to have that. Place something, yeah, so we're trying to get ideas and stuff.
okay, so a couple things that may or may not happen. I've been actually working with the Idaho National Guard. I'm trying to get a blacktop to be somewhere marked over there. It's still in the works. I don't know what's gonna happen. For money wise, I think we should do more fireworks. Do like the big bombs, like, what do you call them? Gas bomb stuff. Old Man Stubbs and CUNY used to do the gas bombs, so you might wanna check that out. But the fireworks are pretty cool. For money wise, I think we need to do honor. Maybe do have people, hey, so and so did something to help with 250, whether it's military, whether it's. And honor them, like plaques for some of the, like, well, like Sam, you guys all, most of y'all know Sam from Hearts, how much he's done for the community. Stuff like that, I don't know if that's what you're asking about.
George's gonna do.
Excuse me, I may have missed it, where are the flags going to be displayed?
by the Veterans Memorial Park,
Okay,
yeah, they'll be right there, kind of on that corner. In that general area, I don't know, that's a lot of flags, so that, and they're big flags, they're the 3x5s that you would fly at your house. So. It's gonna be something pretty you'll see it.
is there enough room there? Everything going on in the park?
That's about the boys' fault that time, is that area. Yeah, I talked to Sarah a little bit and she thought, you know, most everything's up the side, so.
So what we might do, sorry to interrupt, is we may have to see about putting in the school, because we went to the one they had last year, year before in Twin. It's huge, it's not gonna fit there in that corner,
Yeah,
because we were out there measuring it, there's no way.
I sent him I think, somewhere they have a half acre. And I don't know how much room, they can make them tighter. I meet with them on the 28th, I believe, we're gonna go over and walk and look, so right now, that's the spot, but. We're not gonna have backup if it's 300 flags, so. Yeah, we'll look at the different areas and we'll let you know. When we figure out where it's gonna fit and not be clustered, so.
Can we, use some of that grant money possibly, maybe we paint the football field, put those flags on the football field? Something like that would be pretty cool.
I like that idea.
We go flag painted on.
Soccer field.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Well, on to,
That kind of leads to, yeah, so that kind of leads to the next one.
yeah,
Because in order to apply for the grant, one, we have to have the idea, but then we also have to have passed the resolution that goes along with America 250. We have not done that, so that is the next thing, in your packet. I'm gonna pass this down to you, because if you. You'll read it.
did you write it so quick?
No.
You want to read this, right?
Maybe do a motion and then you can then write it. So I move to approve resolution 2026-2, supporting the America 250 in Idaho commemoration and the United States semi-quincentennial.
A second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. So this is where, as the year 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And whereas Governor Brad Little proclaimed the establishment of the America 250 in Idaho commemoration in July 2024 to plan, encourage, develop, and coordinate the commemoration of this monumentous occasion and honor and recognize the contributions of Idaho residents to the nation's past, present, and future. And whereas it is fitting and desirable that we commemorate the birth of the nation with the support of partners and stakeholders across the Gem State. America 250 in Idaho will advance the ideas of the American Revolution, equality, liberty, and justice through meaningful community engagement and recognize, appreciate, and commemorate America's legacy. And whereas Buell followed in 1906, founded in 1906, has contributed proudly and significantly to the history of our nation and our state for more than 120 years. And whereas the mayor and the city council of Buell thus encourage its citizens to create and participate in programs that will commemorate the history of our city, our state, and our nation. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the city of Buell hereby endorses the America 250 in Idaho commemoration and its vision to celebrate American history and the invaluable contributions of Idahoans in our region, nation, and world. It is further resolved that the city of Buell commemorates the 250th annum of the establishment of the United States as an independent nation. The city of Buell authorizes and appoints an individual or committee to oversee local projects and efforts to support this commemoration that will promote the maximum involvement of our residents, neighborhoods, businesses, schools, civic organizations, and institutions in the commemorations. The city of Buell will officially recognize the 250th anniversary of America with the celebration on July 4th, 2026. That a copy of this resolution be sent to the America 250 and Idaho Advisory Council. Mr. Repola? All right. Mara?
Yes.
Maya?
Yes.
Brett?
Yes.
Cortland?
Yes.
All right. All right, we need to make sure that we comply with the law in regards to. Right. Oh, I tried to miss that. All right, the next one is review and consideration of resolution outlining council meeting procedures and rules.
And so this resolution, the only thing that changed, I just looked at, our city council meeting rules from the last time that we talked about them was January 22nd of 2024. And so I know that we will legally in July, we'll allow public comment for each meeting, but I thought that it would be nice to get a jump start and start now. So that was, the only change is number 2, where the public comment is part of each council meeting agenda. And then number 5, we used to do a 2-minute limit for public comment, and I thought 3, we should change that to 3. And those are the only changes. Like, because if, do you have any questions on that?
I think it's a great idea. And just wait a whole month to hear everybody, so. Good. Improvements. I move to adopt resolution 2026-03 to change the city council meeting notes number 2 and number 5 to allow public comment at each meeting and to increase public comment time from 2 minutes to 3 minutes.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Marla?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Brett?
Yes.
Cortland?
Yes.
All right. Now we'll move on. I think we need to make sure that we comply with the law in regards to employee privacy issues. If a member of city council would like to discuss any issues pertaining to complaints, discipline, etc. of a city employee, will first need to be discussed with the mayor, who is the chief administrator for Idaho Code 50-602. After review of the complaint, discipline, etc., if it needs to go before city council, it will be listed under executive session on the upcoming meeting agenda.
So talking about the bond bank and that money that we're going to have to figure out where it's going to go, or what we're going to do with it. I spoke to Cameron at Clearwater. He is willing to come and do a workshop, just like last time, and see our options, see what best practices are. So I didn't know, I know budget is getting busy, but, he suggested sometime in May. And I meant to email you and then it's gotta wait for me, so yeah, so I thought that that would be nice, kind of what we did, sit at the table, and then discuss ideas. So that was, one thing, and then I spoke to my neighbor, today, and, he has law enforcement background, and he thought it would be a really good idea, to have our police department hold like a quarterly community meeting. And we can be there and just see if we can get more community involvement to know what's going on, if they have any questions, to build that relationship a little bit more. So I haven't, this is the first time I just heard about it today, so I haven't even talked to Jeremy or anything about it. I thought that that was maybe something that we could talk about in the future. It doesn't have to be quarterly if that's too ambitious, twice a year or yearly or whatever we have time for. And then my last comment, I wanted to read a statement. So I have been putting a lot of thought into our parking ordinance, and I read through what Doug said to us. I still firmly believe that the ordinance needs to prohibit RVs and trailers from parking on our public streets. I have been on council since the beginning of this ordinance change. In August of 2024, the day when a concerned citizen came in to tell his story about a neighbor parking her motorhome in front of his house. He expressed how difficult it was to safely get out of his driveway. With every discussion we have had, I have said that public safety is my #1 concern. In an email from a concerned citizen in favor of parking RVs and trailers, I was told they are trying to enjoy the best out of life and just trying to make a living. I agree wholeheartedly with this statement. My husband has a small business in town, and I support other local businesses in Buell. However, if how you are living and enjoying life is making it unsafe for other people, I cannot support this. The children riding their bikes or walking to school deserve to enjoy life and be safe. The person who suddenly has a medical emergency or a family whose house tragically caught on fire should be helped immediately and not have to wait on a fire truck or ambulance because they couldn't get to their home. These are the things that are at the forefront of my mind when discussing this ordinance. Small businesses do have the ability to work in town if they have a trailer that is already in our code. If you are working or if people are loading or unloading, they are able to do so with our current code. They can't park them there, however, as a permanent location. I firmly believe in people's property rights. If a trailer or RV is anywhere on their property and it's not blocking traffic, I don't have an issue. However, with public streets using public tax money, it needs to be treated with the consideration of others in mind. Maybe this will lead to another discussion that needs to start in planning and zoning. More and more people are purchasing recreational vehicles. We can have planning and zoning look at areas in our town that would be appropriate, that would be an appropriate place to zone for commercial storage of these vehicles. This ordinance was not controversial as a council vote. It unanimously passed November 11th, 2024. Not every ordinance is going to be liked by every single citizen, and not every ordinance is perfect. But when I read through what we passed, I can confidently say that public safety was at the forefront. Also, since this ordinance was put into effect, the amount of phone calls I've received from neighbors about how people have parked has gone down significantly. What I do feel needs to be changed is the administrative procedures for parking tickets. It is taking up a substantial amount of our code enforcement's time to resolve parking tickets. This was already addressed in the code updates at our March 23rd meeting. Cortland, Fred, Ryan, I enjoy working with you all on council, and I know that we work as a body. No one's vote is above the other. I sincerely respect you all, and I want to hear your ideas on the parking ordinance. With every idea, however, I will ask, is it promoting public safety in our town or putting it in jeopardy? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, move on to citizen comments. Like to read these reminders. Individuals wishing to provide public input regarding matters relevant to the city of Yule, sign up on the sign up sheet near the podium. Include your name, city of residency. Wait to be recognized by the mayor or chairman. When you approach the podium, state your name, whether you are a resident property owner of the city of Yule. All public input will be limited to, guess we'll do 3 minutes. Individuals are not permitted to give their time to other speakers. And this is not a question and answer period with the council. All presenters shall remain respectful. Public input will not be about any of the items that were on this agenda, as these were not public hearing related topics, personnel or personnel related issues. All issues involving city personnel should be directly communicated to the mayor. All right, let's talk Monty West.
Yeah. How you doing? Well, we have done better different times. I'm here to talk about baseballs.
All right, state your name, where you live.
Monty D. Best, and I live down on 429 North 14th. I've lived there 45 years, right at that. I picked up 2 of these out of my yard and bounced off the house tonight, right close to the driveway, walkway to go out to get the mail. It's a danger to me. It's a danger to my life, liberty, and everything else. My wife, she's just had a hip replacement. And I got 5 balls bounced off the house. The first game they had 9. The first weekend, they had that weekend deal out there. I had 4 the last game. I had 2 before I come down here tonight. And it's just, one of them hits me, I'm gonna sue the hell out of everybody. And that's what it amounts to. It's the old lady or whatnot. I got barbecue grills out there that's ceramic. And if they get broke, $1,300-$1,400, that baseball bunch over there, it just tee off every time you turn around. Just like Mr. Klein, I don't know what can be considered trespassing. I've got the place posted down there so people can't come in it. He comes in with a rake and rakes them out of the yard, and I have pictures of it. I mean, this is kind of getting ridiculous if you want to know the truth. They promised me a net in 45 years, and I haven't got anything to keep the balls out of the yard or anything else. I've either fighting school or the city or somebody over it. It's courtroom, you know about it. And that's about all I got to say.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maureen.
All right, Kelly Peterson.
My name's Kelly Peterson. I lived at 509 Broadway North, in the city of Buell, and I'd like to discuss a couple of things with you folks tonight. First one's about this parking ordinance. I know a little about it. I brought it to the council in, August of, 24. We discussed it. It was passed. As Marla said, on November 11th, it was passed unanimously. The main consideration for this was, public safety. The gentleman who brought this to my attention couldn't back out of his driveway without being in the road. The traffic coming, north on, 47 there, 40, or, Clear Lake. He couldn't even see. So that was the main consideration of this is, public safety. It always was public safety. There are streets in this town that are laid out in the original plat, these numbered streets. If you get an RV parked on either side or a trailer, a fire engine cannot get through there. So they've got to, at that point, back down to a cross street and go around the block, putting a lot of people's lives at, possibly a danger. It's just another public safety aspect of it. Every time, not every time, but and I haven't been here in a little over a year, but it seems like reading the agenda or the minutes here, I see this come up again and again and again. I do have some background in law enforcement myself, and I understand, the speed limit, for instance, right here is 25. People are traveling 26, don't normally get a ticket. 27, 28, whatever the limit of the officer's extenuating circumstances. My point is if a, trailer needs to be parked there more than the allotted time, or if they want to leave early, that's, something that can be addressed with officer discretion. They don't absolutely have to enforce that law to the letter. I'm gonna skip over this because I want to get on to my next, item. And I'd just like to say to each and every one of you guys and ladies, thank you. Thank you for sitting here, putting your service in. I know it's, sometimes it's not easy. It's not glamorous at all. And it's certainly not gonna make you rich. But you're doing the public a service and we do appreciate it. I do very much. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Denise.
Hi, my name is Denise Sherliner, Yule, Idaho. I just had a request to make of the council. This is doable of the city. I wanted to know if we could get a hand railing put on Broadway. There's a property just north of, T&L, literally it's just north, and it's gravel, and there's a little tree in the park area, and then there's a railroad track. Okay, well, and we watched a fellow in a wheelchair coming down Broadway and on this area. If he was startled in any fashion or lost control of his wheelchair, this, that, and the other, for any reason, there's about an 8-inch drop off of this sidewalk. So that's going to put the city, well, aside from the fact that it might kill him, it's going to put the city in a great deal of position for a liability suit. So I would like to know if D&B has them, Home Depot has them, Lowe's has them. They're like cattle guards. I don't know what the proper name of them is, but they just about as long as this table, and it just has rails across it. And it would wouldn't be difficult to put in, if our city guys could put it in pretty quick. It would just sink this in so that no one could fall off this sidewalk, which was my only concern, if we could get a hand railing on Broadway for the benefit of all and keep us safe from any lawsuits. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
May.
You're having trouble reading that, it made me.
Margaret, now that I know the name, I can see it.
I didn't,
Tonight.
pardon,
How you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful.
Good.
Didn't put down there what I want, I have to say who I am, okay. Margaret Gray, live at 419 Fruitland Avenue, here in Buell. What I'd like to, actually, I don't even know how to state it. I've kind of lost a friend, but that's okay, cause I feel that we're all should be able to have our own opinions, and he and I didn't agree after 30-some years, but like I say, that's okay. He's living in the past, and he really doesn't understand how things are going here. He thinks that he has to come in a month ahead of time, meeting ahead of time, to sign up to be able to speak, and then he may not even be able to speak. Is there some way? I don't know, maybe through the city billing or something, when you send out your statements, where you can let people know what to do and how to do, and, you know, some people are getting older, and they're still living 30, 40 years ago. And they don't use the internet or social media, so perhaps you've already been considering this. But I think that there'd be a lot more people that would show up to the meetings if they knew what the heck was going on. I didn't cuss, I said heck. So that's all I have to say on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Margaret.
All right, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, they say 3099, Thumb parking. I'm only here because I played the parking game. I lost. 30 minutes, which is what you guys were suggesting, versus 2 hours, which you have currently right now. I have 4 trailers on my property. You can drive by anytime. 3 of which are below here, lower than the roof of a car. You speak of safety. Every one of my vehicles are licensed by the state of Idaho to be on the road. So are my trailers. I don't want to see a trailer parked on the street. I have an elderly mother. Heaven forbid something goes wrong. She's being kept alive by implements now. If I'm loading my trailer and that phone call comes, I'm gonna get a $25 ticket for saving my mom's life. I have a disabled daughter I'm going to pick up this month. You talked about safety. I don't even have a curb in front of my house, people. So. Fireman, chief has already spoke. The standard length of a trailer, my son's a heavy hauler, 96 inches, that's 8 feet. 1 foot wider per side, which is the same width as a dually vehicle on your streets. Nobody wants to see a trailer on the street, but you need to be sensible. Let people load them. Get them off the street. Like I said, I have 4. I don't have a curb, I don't have a driveway. My house was one of those built in early 1906 when the place was founded, horse and carriage. No garage, no driveway, no approach. Like I said, I don't have a curb. But come on, give us enough time to load. What about the people that work? I have my sprinklers blown out. Yeah, granted, he works on it, but what if I have an issue where I need somebody? I'm a professional contractor. I can fix all my own stuff. But if I have to outsource it, I don't have nowhere for them to park, but where I don't even have a curb, but it is the street. If it takes the time, granted, he's working on it, but like I said, I got the ticket while loading my boat. Like I said, 3 of my trailers are below 48 inches. You can look right over the top of. But while I was in my backyard, I got a ticket for trying to go out and go fishing. Now granted, some days I do it twice in a row. You're asking me to disconnect my boat every day and jockey it out of the street just to appease. I won't be out there for 72, but you don't want me out there for 2. But I'm licensed by the state of Idaho. It's common sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. That is it.
We did have 2 that came to email, that wanted to be read, so.
Yeah.
I will try to speak up. Okay, the first one. Dear Buell City Council members, we are ready to express our support for the current parking ordinance in Buell and to share our concerns regarding any proposed changes to it. The existing ordinance plays an important role in maintaining public safety within our community. Keeping roadways clear of large and obstructive vehicles such as trailers, RVs, and off-road vehicles helps ensure better visibility for drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists. This is especially important in residential areas where impaired vision due to parked cars can increase the risk of accidents. In addition to safety, the ordinance contributes to the overall appearance and pride of our town. A cleaner, more orderly streetscape reflects positively on Buell and helps preserve the sense of community we all value. Limiting the presence of oversized or non-standard vehicles on public roadways supports a more polished and welcoming environment for both residents and visitors. For these reasons, we would not be in favor of any changes that would allow trailers, RVs, off-road vehicles, or similar equipment to be parked on roadways in Buell. We believe the current ordinance strikes the right balance between functionality, safety, and community pride. Thank you for your time and your continued service to our community. Alan and Candy Reynolds. And then the other one, dear council members, we are writing as concerned residents of the city of Buell to bring attention to our support of the parking ordinance passed unanimously by the city council in November 2024 to assist in the prevention of safety concerns for the community. Since the ordinance was passed and enforcement began, there has been a noticeable improvement in the appearance of the streets. Many residents have expressed appreciation for the results, even if they have not formally shared their feedback through letters or public meetings. The primary concerns appear to come from individuals who may be monetarily impacted, as well as those who may not fully consider the broader safety implications for their neighbors when parking RVs, boats, and similar vehicles on city streets. Please do not view the most vocal opposition as representatives of the broader population of our community. Reduced visibility, drivers experienced reduced visibility of oncoming traffic and pedestrians at intersections due to congested streets and roadways. Congested streets and roadway width was often restricted by vehicles such as RVs and boats parked on both sides. Limited emergency access. You have heard from the fire chief and your police chief regarding this subject. Pedestrian safety concerns. Pedestrians, including children and individuals using mobility devices, are often forced into the street to navigate around blocked sidewalks. We respectfully request that parking enforcement presence in the city of Buell continue as per the ordinance passed by the city council as it currently reads, especially to ensure compliance with existing regulations and to overcome the above. Maintaining safe and accessible streets is essential for our community, and proactive measures have gone a long way in addressing this concern. Thank you for your time and consideration. We look forward to your response. Respectfully, David and Pam McLean. For all that I received.
Okay. So that concludes our comments.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
No motion.
So,
I second.
We have a motion in a second. All those in. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, and then we can see it further, sure, you're not able to load it that way.
Oh, you really did.
Yes, you're right.
But, yeah, it's like.